This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes, for your half-assed entertainment news with no bullshit, with our hosts, Summer Helene and Bear Fiorda, only on Talk 4 Media.
G'day, guys. Welcome to Behind the Scenes. I'm your host, Summer Helene, and we're on with my co-host, the guy that just was banned from TikTok.
I wasn't banned from TikTok. My live access was restricted for approximately 10 minutes, which I'll try to get back on if anyone was watching and they came to the show.
Yeah, here's the problem. Everything I say on this show will get you banned.
Well, actually, that's fair. This is YouTube. We have a lot more liberties here than on TikTok. Wow.
Yeah, TikTok's a bitch.
It really is, though. We'll see what happens if anyone does pop on. But beyond that, I also was not totally just adjusting my pillow, which, by the way, do they have specific pillows to help people? That's tits. Do they have specific pillows to help people sit up straight? I just don't. That's the only pillows I have are in my bra. I can't use those to sit up straight.
They give me the cleavage.
You can't use that to sit up straight.
No, you can't. But you know what would work?
What?
Sitting up straight.
Yeah. Listen, I don't want to make excuses, but I probably won't do it on my own.
You probably should.
I should.
I'm like gesturing to Alexis, close the windows.
Oh, are we not allowed to have?
No, you can't
fresh
have
air?
things. You can't have that open because the sound.
Oh.
It becomes problematic.
Well,
so we've got a lot going on. We are going to be at Phoenix Fan Fusion this weekend.
Yes, we are.
We will be staying over at the Marriott. No.
Is it the Marriott? No.
No, it's not. It's
I think it's Embassy Suites.
Best Western. No, I'm doing a bit here.
This is not a bit.
This is a bit. This is supposed to be the only good hotel in Phoenix.
Really?
A lot of them are crack houses.
I'm surprised by that.
I was going to actually make a crack about the Best Western being a crack house, but I was like, we've had to work with them before. We
not only worked with them before. We actually had a decent one of the best hotels I ever stayed in at one point was a Best Western. I was very surprised by that. It was clean, the accommodations were nice, we had our own fridge, we had a microwave. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a Best Western hotel room.
Yeah.
But
we're staying at the Embassy Suites. And I got to tell you, Yana's sitting here like Embassy Suites. I know, sweetie. I promise we didn't forget.
Yes, thank you.
We usually have a convo on it, but the reason we're having this convo is we've stayed there before. We stayed there a lot of years with Con. We used to stay at Aloft, and it was wonderful. Aloft. I did, but I really like this one better, and I try and be really straightforward in my reviews. I'm not saying this just because they're a partner. I like that they have the brunch. I like that they have. I like the amenities they have, and I love the layout.
Yeah,
because it puts our whole team together, which doesn't always happen. It
basically, you walk into a centerpiece and all the hotel rooms line up in a circular format.
It's like, I don't know if it was built in like the 70s or the 90s, but it's really, really cool. So both Bear and Yana ruined my bid.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was a bid, but also welcome Pickle Bear and Yana Alal, some of our most heavier commenters here on the show. Also, I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, you guys ruined my bid. I'm kind of butthurt.
But you know what else? You're beautiful.
You're still ruining my bid.
Yeah, and the outside.
I got claws, and I will grab those.
Those are very pretty claws, by the way. I like your ring as well.
Thank you. My ring is from Matthew Morris Fine Jewelry. I have an in. I know the owner.
You know the owner?
I know the owner.
How did you get your in with the owner?
My parents had sex.
Oh.
My mom took off her.
It's family relation. Got it.
It's my brother.
What did you just say your mom did?
Took off her pants.
Your mom took off her pants.
Yeah, it's not a high bar.
Man, I'm
really butthurt. You ruined my bit.
So you're taking it out on your mother?
No, I'm just butthurt. Like, I had a whole bit. I probably should have discussed it before I did it.
That's okay.
Because we're sitting there like talking about Embassy Suites, and it's the moment I'm like, I probably should have discussed it before I started the bit, because Bear's like jumping in to save me.
Have you ever heard of Jojo Siwa?
Yes, the one that's copying Kiss, that went from like Bubblegum Me to Rocker, the wannabe.
Yes.
So JoJo
I was going to ask about that controversy right now.
So it's not really a
controversy.
She's trying to be Taylor Swift. She's trying to be Miley Cyrus. So the one thing, it's the argument Bear and I have had, which is adapt or die. People get bored. When you're known, people get bored with you, which is fine and very, very reasonable. Who wants to see the same thing again and again and again? Well, the person that did it best was Madonna. The person that did it after her was Taylor Swift.
She did it really well.
She did, but so did Madonna. And essentially what they did was they used fashion and social media, in Taylor's case, to rework their image again and again. Like Ben needs to do his time's up, dude. You're late.
Yeah, I need to change up an outfit. I need to find a different outfit. You know, that's part.
That is part of it.
I do.
No, it is.
What do you think about parachute pants?
Yeah, that's not funny.
Really?
Yeah, it's really not.
Why?
Because you're taking a very serious subject and you're downplaying it. And part of what we talk about on the show is how to build fame.
Okay, well,
and so you dismissing it.
Okay, well, I apologize for dismissing that. You were making a bit about one of our sponsors.
Yes.
We can't make playful jokes?
No, you can't give misinformation.
All right, well, I don't mean to give misinformation. Let's clarify. Yes, you absolutely have to change up what you do every now and again. Otherwise, people get bored. You get left behind. And if you're in a business, if you're an influencer, if you're a sports, whatever you are, you have to be able to change with the times. And if you can't change with the times, you will be left behind and you'll go out of business with whatever it is you're doing. That's real.
And on top of that, because you are having brand issues, the last thing you want to do is sound like you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
Because you're already fucking up.
Well, I was just trying to play. Happy to move back to JoJo Siwa if you want. In fact, that's what I wanted to do in the first place, because that's what's relevant right now.
Well, it's more than that. So JoJo Siwa did it badly. She was trying to do the image change, and it was too drastic, and it was bad.
A lot of people are complaining that it was contrived in its feeling.
Of course it's contrived. All of them are contrived. The difference is when you hit someone like Taylor Swift and it's contrived, it's small incremental changes. If you look at her eras, the way she does it, there's small incremental changes. Nothing is as drastic as Bubble Bunny to Kiss.
Full on eye makeup designs. I'm surprised she didn't get a tattoo or something, honestly.
That's what makes it feel contrived.
Okay.
Is the fact that she's gone to heavy metal rocker. When you look at the chick from Gossip Girl that did the same thing, that joined a metal band, that's really her look. She's really in a metal band. People can dislike it all they want, but it's authentic. It's not with JoJo Siwa.
No, I think JoJo Siwa definitely just kind of. I can't say she made it up on her own. I'm sure someone gave her some kind of advice, like this may be a good idea. Someone on her team. Because I don't think she would have just gone in alone and still have the support she does. The label's still with her, you know?
No, I understand. I'm sure she did, but it's done three things. We're talking about her. Her diehard fans are pushing. And realistically, it worked for shock factor. And that's what she was going for.
That's fair.
And so she got what she wanted. Now, whether or not she can mobilize that fan base and have people be like, yeah, she's awesome, that's different.
I would think it would work very well if she did this and then she had like a, not necessarily come to Jesus, but like a kind of rewind where she kind of went back, did everything right.
No.
Like this got all the attention. Now she can kind of move into what she was planning on, or this was just to get attention for an album. But now something has to go right. She can't keep going south, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so sort of what she has to do is stick with it. Otherwise, it will prove that it's disingenuous.
Oh, so this is who she is for now then, regardless of what she wants. That actually reminds me quite a bit like Hollywood and like the music industry. You're kind of you're kind of shut into a certain section. You're typecasted for a little while.
Yeah, I'm too jet lagged for this shit.
Which part?
Yes.
Well, I mean, if you want to step out, I'll make it the Bear Show.
Go for it. Let's make it the Bear Show.
Excellent. Let's talk about UFC.
Go for it.
What do you think about Conor McGregor fighting Michael Chandler?
I don't know who Michael Chandler is or care, but I know who Conor McGregor is. He's got a good following.
Think of the Pride of Irish versus the kind of all-American guy from a former label that wasn't as good as the UFC.
Yeah, you keep talking and all I hear is blah, blah, blah. I'm a dirty tramp.
Listen, we don't talk about people's past lives, okay? We leave that stuff in the dark. We don't touch upon skeletons.
I know, honey. It's the one thing with him having a following that is problematic is the moment I'm like,
What's that?
How many complaints are we going to get from former girls or conversations you've had, or that's the one thing you'll have to deal with. Yana, shout out to his manager, Yana. Oh.
All right, one of our commenters, Pickle Bear, says, having a heart attack. I chugged an energy drink a little bit ago. Well, maybe just lay down and take it easy for a second. Hopefully you don't have to get your stomach pumped. That would be unfortunate.
Don't do that. That can actually cause seizures. Seizures.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
It can cause heart palpitations and seizures. This light is creating a crease here, and it's seriously stressing me out. I'm like,
you can always turn it, yeah.
I'm like, I have paid a lot of money for like Botox and shit, and I don't have a line there, so I'm like, what the fuck? You
have your light and dark half. Have you ever heard of rhabdo?
This is so gay, and I am so tired. What do you want?
It's a medical condition that popped up recently, and this is actually trending right now. It's being big because
medical conditions are trending.
Just listen to me.
Is this some TikTok bullshit? Like I have multiple personalities.
No, it's actually YouTube. Rhabdo is a clinical case where you have overexhausted yourself to a degree in which you have heart attack and massive dehydration kind of symptoms-esque, and they have to bring you in, pump you full of fluids. And the worst part about it is most cases of rhabdo are forever. So if you develop this condition where you overexhaust yourself to the point of mass amounts of fatigue, like you can't move, it'll likely stay with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
once you develop it.
Hear me out. I've done that. I've burnt myself out, passed out, and had to go get IVs.
No, but this is I understand what you're saying. This is a real thing. And the reason why it's popped up now, because there's this group out there.
Because the whole country's fat and everyone's lazy?
No, this can happen to anybody.
I understand.
But yes, I'm sure there's
I'm sure it's coming up because the country
too.
is fat and people are lazy. We just came back from Australia.
But anyways.
And the one thing that Alexis was saying was she was shocked that we could walk everywhere.
Oh, well, yeah, I was kind of shocked by that.
Don't get me wrong. America is my country by choice. I moved here. I'm an immigrant. Like, this is where I choose to be.
Right.
I'm so jet lagged. It's in such a bitchy mood.
Well, I can continue.
But hear me out on this.
I'll hear you out.
This country is the fattest fucking country I have ever seen, with people that don't want to do.
Yeah, I think we have like a 60 or 70% obesity rate.
Absolutely anything. And it is bizarre. And I see children screaming at their parents. And I'm like, if I screamed at my parents,
I think going to Australia has made her homesick because she comes back and sees all the terrible things that happen here. And I admit they're pretty bad. When we go there, listen to me. This is the difference in our countries in Australia. In Australia, you can go and pump your gas and then go in and pay. That's the culture.
That was the entire note you took from Australia.
But it shocks me because I know for a fact if you start that here in the States, people just lose money.
America used to do that.
Just steal
They stopped.
Yep. People would just steal the gas. Modern Day Night Project is where rhabdo is starting to pop up again, because it's this group of guys who are either ex-military or those alpha male bros who sell a course of 3 days where you pay 18 grand to go there and they abuse the shit out of you physically. And then they say that you're a man at the end of it. And what they're doing is they're driving
this sounds
these guys.
Like some red pill bullshit.
It is. They're driving these guys so hard, so physically hard, that they are coming down with this condition again, rhabdo, where their bodies just shut down on them. They cannot move. And one of them actually died. And the Modern Day Night Project is being sued because of it.
Good. The reality is if you dehydrate or overwork somebody to that point, you're looking at kidney failure. You're looking at serious problems.
Kidney failure is actually one of the main components.
Yes. Like, I know I went into kidney failure, but
you actually had surgery for kidney failure.
No. I had surgery for problem kidneys when I was little, making me more prone to problems. But I had kidney issues. It wasn't kidney failure. It was kidney issues.
Okay.
Because your body couldn't process everything, all the broken down muscle and all the broken down proteins.
Right.
So it was really problematic. But realistically, I think, what's a polite way of saying it? Why are unqualified jackasses putting together some project on Be a Man? I'm so sick of this red pill bullshit. Like, you want to know how to be a man? Take care of yourself. Don't put emotional labor on your partner. Don't put the extra labor on your partner. Take care of your damn self. You are a grown-up. It is not a high bar, but I don't know what it is with this country, but you all have stepped into like Essie Williams or whatever that bitch's name is.
Essie Williams?
Yeah, she's the big-titted blonde that she's like, people watch me because I am a stay-at-home. No, dude, people watch you because you have big boobs and you're essentially a male fantasy. And she does this whole thing of, this is how you be a stay-at-home wife. Bitch, you are an influencer. You have a job. Put your money where your mouth is. There was that one influencer that got her ass kicked by her husband who was like full on right wing.
Oh yeah, she quit. She
quit. She put her money where her mouth is. He fucked her life up. But yeah, it's that moment. I'm like, fucking Essie Williams. I'm like, bitch, quit your job. Like, okay, if you're so right, why the fuck are you still on TikTok? Why the fuck are you still on YouTube?
Well,
like your preach, what you are preaching is be a stay-at-home wife, then go be a stay-at-home wife. It's like Just Pearly Things. We were supposed to have her on the show. She canceled. We're still trying to get her on the show. Like, you are, by her definition, the right kind of man.
Thank
you make good money, you work, you're physically fit, you're attractive. So by her standard, you should be dating some 20-year-old bimbo.
That just doesn't sound appealing in any way.
Why not?
Personally speaking, I never gotten the attraction to someone who is super young than you, because how are you supposed to relate to them? It doesn't make any sense. Plus, I've always liked older women to begin with.
Thanks, babe. But what I mean, and that's fine. But the reality is, like, maybe it's working in entertainment. I'm not so hung up on age as I am on what have you done? How successful are you? How much bread you got?
But let's also think of it this way. I think no matter what, even right now at our current ages, going back to someone who's like 18, most 18-year-olds are still just children. They're still just kids. 17 years old the day before does not, you don't automatically become some super intelligent human being that's very emotionally mature when that following day. You are still that kid who threw sticks at a car 2 weeks ago. Like, it just doesn't change.
I didn't know how old you were when I met you.
I understand these exceptions. I'm talking about rule.
I'm not talking about that. I didn't know how old you were when I met you.
Yeah.
You'd been teaching martial arts since you were 14. You had a job. You were employed. I met you at work. So it's a different. So
I still think.
Just let me finish.
All right, go for it.
So I can see how I got roped into that.
Got roped in. I threw a lasso over you.
Yeah.
No, I really did though. I worked very hard at it. I'm proud of my accomplishment here.
I definitely would not have been interested if had I known how old you were.
Yes.
All of that being said, I don't begrudge someone. Like, I see why, guys in Australia or America, you see, 60-year-old dudes with 30-year-old women.
Yeah.
Especially like when they marry women from the Philippines or from Thailand. Like, I am 100% behind that because you are getting a wife that is going to take care of you. Yeah, the family's bitch because they're like, oh, but she wants his money. Yes, she does. She's literally marrying him and taking care of him for the rest of his life for his money. Yeah. She's marrying for money.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
But she's a good partner. She's taking care of him. I am not opposed to any of that.
No, I'm not either. I don't even care.
So, I'm not worried about age.
Yeah.
As much as I am, are you in the same social and financial position? Because those disparities, I find, make the greatest difference. Like, the way you and I have run into issues as far as the age difference goes, it's next to none because of our jobs. But socially...
Yeah, no, I'm much more mature than you. I guess I'm not all that concerned with the age thing. If you're 50 years old and you like a 20-year-old, she's a legal adult, he's a legal adult, go for it. I don't care. What I have a problem with is going back to the whole stay-at-home wife concept.
Power imbalance. That's where my problem
that's an issue, because now when you become so dependent on the other person that you can't get out, that you can't find your own life, and then they start to abuse you, what are you going to do?
Now,
you're stuck.
The only person I encourage to be a stay-at-home wife is Essie Williams.
And
that is just because, bitch, you preach it, you do it.
And Just Pearly Things.
And no, Just Pearly Things.
Because she preaches that same
understand,
thing. In fact, she's worse. She says women should have less rights.
I really feel that Just Pearly Things, like, she's a pick-me.
Yes, we know that.
But she's a pick-me that never got picked. By her standard, you are the perfect guy.
I know.
But by her standard, I'm the worst choice in woman. I'm successful, I'm career driven, I'm financially solvent, and you will never be my first priority. My job will.
Holy shit. It's almost like looking for someone who can benefit your life is fucking wrong. It's weird. Wow. You are a huge benefit to me. Nope, I don't want you. I want the girl who's just coming out of fucking high school, has no idea what the hell she's doing. Yeah, that's all it is. Now I got to teach her fucking everything.
I'm just saying.
I have to show her how to do shit. I don't want to do that.
I got married at 18.
Yes.
I was definitely not emotionally mature enough to get married. And it for sure stunted me. 20 minutes before we get into the guests, let's see what they what record they're going to try and intentionally beat next time. Oh, thank you, Pickle Bear. I forgot about
he's timing
it.
I think we do.
I know. I like Elley. So we get an announcement when our guest comes on.
Yeah.
And Bear and I pretty much just chat till the guest comes on.
And now that,
but this time we did talk over it. So good catch, Pickle Bear.
You got to teach kids how to do shit regardless, Barry. Yes, I don't care. I don't mind teaching people how to do martial arts.
I don't want to teach someone I'm dating.
I don't want to teach someone I'm dating how to wash their clothing, how to clean up after themselves. I'm not interested in that. And maybe a lot of 18-year-old women would already know how to do these things. But in my opinion, it's not worth the risk. It's not worth the chance.
The one that would get me is dating an American. Like, do you have to teach them how to use a bidet? Because your country people do not use
Australia
bidet.
had a lot less bidets than I expected.
Yeah, not public ones.
Even private ones.
We were in an Airbnb in hotels.
Oh.
If you looked at my dad's house, there's one. My aunt's house had one.
I did not investigate your family's house's bathroom, Summer. I'm just saying from what I noticed.
I'm just saying. He's like, why did the public hotel not have a bidet? Because they don't want to share that. And they do.
You don't want to share. You don't want to share ass juices with other people.
I'd like to welcome to the show Elley Ringo, host of Elley Knows Rock.
I love that I come in at the worst parts of the conversation that end up being so fantastic.
I tried to look for phrases that would cue her to bring you in, and I found it.
Yeah, I think last time you were talking about strangling each other. So, I mean, there is that too. Oh, hi. I thank you so much. I appreciate it. See you. Okay. Backstory person. I am here at an old rodeo ground today doing a reel of horseback riding for barrel racing. So I am sweaty. I smell like a horse. And we literally just got done brushing the horses just for me in time to jump on. So hi.
Nice.
Welcome.
What's the name of the ranch? Where are you at? What are you doing?
Okay, so I am at it is Fort something. It's in Mesa, Arizona. And this is part of the Lee Days rodeo grounds area. And my friend Todd South has horses in Phoenix. And I was doing an audition where I needed to show that I had barrel racing skills. So Todd brought out his 2 horses that have no barrel racing skills. So I had to teach the horses how to go around the barrels today. And then I did the best I could riding them around. But I've been on horseback since I was 5 years old. I know it very well. And I didn't get bucked off. Nothing happened today. And we started at 9 a.m. and I just got done and I'm exhausted. I forgot how much you use every part of your body to do this.
I never knew you rode horses a day in your life. I thought you look at rocks.
I do look at rocks, but I started out like on horseback as a kid. Actually, my mom would take me down to the beach before my dad started taking me to look for agates at the beach. And so that kind of just became a thing. And my mom and I would go and we'd run on the beach till we got tired. And then me and my dad would go look for agates as soon as I got older. So it was a dual family thing. My mom hates the rock side. She can't find agates to save her life. She picks up every rock. My dad and I would look at her like, oh, you poor thing. You need help. But she could ride the horses and we look for rocks. Short story.
Fair enough. Absolutely.
I like that.
So what's the, if I don't mind asking, what's the audition for? What are you going after here?
It is for a movie about barrel racing. It's a girl, I guess, who's kind of had a hard life and her mom's never supported her and she's big into barrel racing. I mean, that's the breakdown I got for the sides. It's very, very short. They don't let you know a lot of details, but they said, hey, it's great that you have photos of you on horses, but if you want to be considered, you have to show your barrel racing skills. I'm like, does a VHS buried in my parents' closet count the proof, even though I don't have it? And they're like, no. And so you're like, you have till the 31st to do this. I'm like, oh crap. So I asked Todd, I was like, hey Todd, I'm going to be in Phoenix on Friday. Do you think that I could borrow your horses? And he's like, yeah.
Got a horse.
So actually I rode Todd's horse in my first lead feature role ever.
Nice.
And so Todd knows me. He knows I can ride. And he's like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And so we're here today. We sweated him up. Everybody was tripping and falling. I got a bunch of videos and yeah.
Nice.
So how does...
Well, I was going to say, we're in the middle. You should talk to your manager that's on. We're in the middle of casting for a show that's going to be shot in Australia, the UK, New Zealand. They're casting leads on that for The name of the book that's being translated is called Receiver of Many. It's the Hades and Persephone story. Greek mythology. It's being shot through the UK. I can't say what station it's on. And Australia, so you should talk to her. Yana said yes, hi.
Yes, Yana. Yes.
It's almost like she's involved in casting that. I'm just saying. You're not welcome. You can't actually act.
I could be a background character. She
Yeah,
just doesn't want me in it.
No,
that's all it is.
This is like no. This is like a serious.
I'm on her side.
Adaptation from a best-selling book.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you guys have any fight scenes?
Yeah, we're reaching out to Henry Cavill for the lead and Liam Hemsworth to play Zeus.
I'm just saying we can do a stunt coordinator thing.
You don't know how to do that.
My coach does, and he can teach me. Why
wouldn't I just hire Joe then?
I'm cheaper.
No, you're not.
Oh, I thought Bear was going to say he was his own coach.
His coach is the coach of the US
I taught myself how to stunt coordinate. Thank you very much. I know how to look at a camera and not hit somebody. We're okay.
I don't know about that. Yes, no, I'd play Persephone. I used to love Greek mythology when I was a kid. Like I used to think I was all of them at any given time. I had all the powers.
I like that. I liked my favorite was always Psyche. If you guys know who Psyche is, write in on @TuneInBTS anywhere. Make sure you message it. Tell me who Psyche is. And if you've read Receiver of Many, the Hades and Persephone story, tell me who you think Elley could play. And I will give you a ride at Off-Road Rentals in Palm Springs, California.
Do a good job, people. Do a good job. Vote Elley.
Vote Elley.
There's our specific.
Quick shout out to Bombshell Tans in Indio, Tiny Bubbles in Palm Springs. Thank you for fixing my hair. Off-Road Rentals. Of course, Embassy Suites by Hilton in Phoenix downtown. We're going to be staying there for Phoenix Comic-Con, or it's now called Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Right, they ditched the Comic-Con.
Yep, I'll be speaking at Phoenix Fan Fusion at 6 p.m. In room 131 ABC. Wow, they gave us a big one. We keep packing them out every year. Ellie's going to be speaking too.
Okay, yes.
And they pack us out every year. And so every year our room gets bigger because we keep filling it up. I was like, this is getting stupid.
Don't give me the Twinkies to throw at people again because that didn't go well last year.
No, I want to give you more things to throw at people. I thought that was fantastic.
Okay, it was so much fun for me, but I was worried that somebody might try to sue us. Maybe I should kiss the Twinkie and then throw it at them.
So you guys know we give out like sweets if you get the answers right. It's like a Q&A. We do a kind of a panel and then we like toss things out.
I wasn't trying to maim people.
Elley did not get it to anyone it was supposed to go to, but she hit everyone else. Yeah, she's just like I think it was
bounced off people.
She's like, but everyone wanted her to throw it because I think it was a sadistic thing. They're like, I think let's wait until she gets someone in the eye.
Even Bear was rooting for me to like knock someone in the face.
Oh yeah, I was hoping for it.
I know.
I'll hand you a larger object, more surface area, harder to miss.
Hand me a frisbee. I can aim with a frisbee. Does that count? No. Okay.
Why didn't you throw it like a frisbee then?
Because she'd have hit someone directly in the face.
Just a Twinkie. I was taking their eye out. Hello. Ready? No, bad idea. Just don't give Elley things to throw.
Just make her throw water balloons. I like that.
Oh, that's fantastic. We'll fill up water balloons.
Perfect. So I'm going to ask you, Elley.
Yes.
You're trying out for this film. You have your channel, and Elley Knows Rocks. You're growing massively on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm at 42.6 thousand as of last night, and it might be 43,000 today. I wish it would grow faster. It keeps growing, and
She's it's not much better than me at it.
Mm-hmm. I realize that people really love the fact that, like, if I go dig it up and I have like a story about it and then I show the after, people are like, oh my gosh, because it's an instant gratification. I don't always have videos like that, unfortunately. Or if I have some random fact, like the most ridiculous video got next to, I don't know, like 500,000 views, like really fast. It was a short. And I was just pointing out a fault in a wall. Like I was like, oh, see this? You could trace it. It looks cool. It was all of 12 seconds long, if that. And I'm like, wow, you guys really are nerds. You love this. And so it was really cool for me. It was easy content, but the most random stuff will just through the roof. and which is awesome. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it. It's just like, okay, when is every video going to get that sort of viewership? But I love my followers. I love the fact that my subscribers on YouTube are like so for me. Just in the fact, like if someone comes at me hard, like, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing, or that's stupid, or you know, she should be topless, or she has somebody called me bubble lips the other day, and then somebody called me, you know, they always say, oh, nice rocks, quotation marks, or I love your boulders, that kind of stuff. I get the most diehard fans that will get on there and defend me like for their lives and just rail these people, and I love that kind of viewership, I guess. And you know, who cares if the people want to hate on me, go for it, hear a comment. But I try not to read my comments so much lately because I've been in a down place right now, like, because all of creators go up and down, and I'm still on that curve. I haven't hit rock bottom yet, and I can feel that. And so reading that stuff, like, I just started crying the other day. It was so harsh. I was bawling in the bedroom, and Dan walks in. He's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And he's not good when I cry, and he doesn't know what to do. And I was like, this is so horrible. And he just hugged me, and I was just bawling. And it sucks that some stranger that I don't even know could say something so painful with like 5 words that it just brings me to tears. Isn't that lame? But
I think, well, it's not lame. I think it's.
Well, I think it's lame.
No, I think the dude doing it's lame.
That's
what I mean is, so it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
When a person does that, it's engagement. I'm 100% for it.
Yeah, I am too.
The flip side of it is they forget that there's a human on the other side of that. Yeah. And so because they assume.
I just think they don't care. Internet's anonymity is so, it's the most important reason why these people can speak the way they think they can.
Oh yeah, it's because you know it's some 12-year-old kid
who knows absolutely nothing about what you're doing.
Fuck all, who's sitting there, who's made a profile pretending they're a grown up, who's just sitting there, you know, playing like Minecraft.
And on the flip side, maybe some super old guy who never met his dreams, and so he's picking on you because you did it.
Yep, and I don't know, you know, who they are, what sex they are, where they come from. It is amazing how that other person that I don't know, it's just can bring you to your knees with no effort. And some days I'm great at like ignoring it, and it doesn't faze me. Other days I'm like, this sucks. But then I move on, get over it. And then I can talk about it and tell people, don't let it bother you. You know, it's day to day.
It's weird. Like I've had, mostly I just get dick pics. I
get those too.
Yeah, it's mostly I get
or that. Like little porn snippets.
Yeah, you can. So I don't get a lot of engagement, but people are, when they want your attention, they will lash out to get your attention. And in analytics, what I've seen with yours and what I've seen with Bears, the people that are trolling you are usually fans or were fans that didn't get responded to. Now, it's not a slight. There's stuff buried on TikTok in like 4 million comments or 3 million. Without exaggeration, you got thousands and thousands of comments. So you didn't see this one comment. They take it personally. And so they go from loving you to hating you. Because the opposite of loving you is not hate, it's apathy. And these people give a fuck. They really give a fuck.
Right.
And that's where the problem comes in, is you have these super invested fans that become super haters and super trolls.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So how do you suggest fixing the fact that it's impossible for me to reply to everyone? And I do get people that come on and say, you haven't replied to any of my comments on your last 5 videos. And I'm like, I haven't replied to anybody's comments on the last 5 videos.
So what I would do is put up a group comment and pin it. Every few videos you can pin something at the top that says, I see all of your comments. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry I haven't been able to reply to everyone individually because A, B, C, D. I just want you to know that I appreciate you. Because for them, it's about appreciation and feeling seen. The parasocial relationship that's bred.
To get into this. I wanted to get into this.
The parasocial relationship that's bred online is very different than the old school star. There's actually a vacuum. Part of the problem I was having speaking with Rachel Alexander, the author of the book that we're adapting, the Hades and Persephone story, is she's sitting there looking for stars, and she realized there's a vacuum from like 25 to 40. There is this vacuum where she can't find stars. And I had to point out to her, that's the birth of social media. That's when stardom changed. We don't have stars in the millennial generation the same way they did in generations before. Most of the stars we looked up to were Gen Xers, because our celebrities came from social media and reality television. So it's very different than the generations before. So in this case, when you look at this parasocial relationship, they feel they have access to you. So if you respond that way and you acknowledge it, they feel heard. They feel seen. And that's the trick. The more you can make your audience feel heard and seen, the more they interact with you, the more that they grow. The one thing Taylor Swift is very good at is making everyone feel like she's speaking for them. People leave millions of comments, and she'll leave a pinned comment at the top, and everyone feels it's because she read their comment.
Yeah. No, that is fantastic answer, actually. Like, thank you.
No,
that was awesome.
But with
no worries. It's
my job or something.
Maybe. No way. No way. It's like really, you got a question right on a quiz.
I want to say one. I'm going to chime in. I want to say one thing that you mentioned.
Okay.
I do think
you like
that it's somewhat wrong that what you said. You said that they think that they have access to you, and I want to say it's not a think they do.
No,
there are people out there. I love my fight manager, Alexis. Doesn't matter who you are, she can find you. She can find your house. She can find your kid's school. And she does it respectfully with work-related things, like trying to find a person who runs a business that she wants to work with. There are people out there who can do it just to find you personally, come stalk you, and then come, hide outside your house, take photos of you. There's a band right now called...
That's true. Bear and I got together after this dude that was stalking me. God told him we should be together. Broke my nose, fractured my back.
Right.
It was bad. He'd been following me online for ages. So that is very true. They do have access to you. And I made the mistake of posting where I was, not before I left. But this was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's back in 2016.
Yeah, this like 8 years ago. But I posted where I was. And so I'd done that so many times, I didn't even think about it. Now, obviously, I post when I'm leaving. But the guy was like, God told me that we should be together. I'm like, oh, shit.
It's wild.
Yeah, I was raised in Catholic school. God never talked back. But just saying.
But what I was getting to is that there's a band out there right now
went
called
to synagogue. God never talked back. Never responded.
Called Sleep Token, and their whole deal is they wear masks and an outfit because they don't want anyone to know who they are. They just want to make the music, and that itself is
bullshit.
A sell.
It's a gimmick.
Just listen. I'm not arguing with you. I literally just said it's a sell. Anyways, the point is, they go about trying to say anonymity is the most important thing in the music industry. Someone went out, found the dudes, leaked their information on the internet. Everything. House, phone number, the whole nine. And so it doesn't matter who you are. If you cater to the wrong person, like if there's someone on your social media who likes what you do to that extent, they'll find you. And so I think it's kind of important that we talk more about these parasocial relationships and how they can massively impact people. Like, for example, how they hurt the comment affects you, because that person may personally feel like they have an attachment to you, or that themselves, or you owe them something now. Yeah, and when you give it to them, that's what happens.
And it's a really scary thought. I mean, I guess I kind of consider myself lucky. I mean, anybody messes with Dan, they're going down, sort of a thing. But like, I've told people on multiple occasions, like, if you see me out in the wilderness, or if you come up and you're like, oh, hey, hi, I noticed you, which I've had happen. Thank God it's been in groups of people, where some random person from Austria, by the way, was driving by, and I posted this in my YouTube video. He's like, oh my gosh, it's Elley. I'm like, well, what? And he stopped and he backed his car up. I'm like, is he in the group? And Steve's like, no. I was like, uh-oh. And so he's like, you're Elley Knows Rocks. And he's like, oh, wow. And his accent was so thick, I could barely understand him. He's like, I knew someday I'd run into you out in the wilderness. He was a perfectly normal guy, like perfectly sweet, very kind, very cordial.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. But it could very well be the opposite. But I have told people when I'm out and about, I said, if you mess with me, you're going to get one of the 3 weapons that I have on my body. I always carry a gun. I always carry multiple knives, and I'll have a rock hammer most of the time. So like, you're going to get messed up.
Shouldn't tell people that, because what you've told a stalker is to arm yourself better than I'm armed.
Oh, I guess fair enough. But
that's just I've run into that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one I've actually run into.
So Elley doesn't have any weapons on her at all.
No,
I don't have any weapons on me. Well, I mean, in most of my videos, I do tell people, damn it, I should have got my rock hammer left in the car. So everybody gives me hell. They're like, you need a belt. Just get a belt. I'm like, I'm wearing a belt. There's no place for the rock hammer.
You need like a Batman utility belt. You know, that's something you could create and sell, would be an Elley utility belt.
Oh, that's true. I mean, I know they have things, but they're bulky and funky. And yeah, if I made my own, maybe that would be a good seller. People love my mineral kits. Like, I'm the first person to put out legit, actual mineral kits with real stuff in them that people can actually use. None of the plastic crap that they have in these other things that they sell for way too much money. That's my main seller on my Etsy. People absolutely love them. I'm sold out all the time. As fast as I can make them, they're gone.
What is a mineral kit?
It's a mineral testing kit. So it has all the things in it for you to test all the physical properties of a mineral so you know what it is.
Huh. Oh, yeah. I want to ask a little more about that. By the way, I apologize to my co-host for cutting her off earlier. I just really wanted to talk about the parasocial thing.
That's all right. We talk over each other all the time.
Yeah, it happens.
That was so sweet. That's very kind of you.
Thank you.
He's always sweet. It sucks. It's annoying because I'm not. So he's like so sweet.
I know.
I always end up looking like the jackass. And I'm looking at him like, you did this on purpose. He's like, no, I meant it. So I'm like, stop being nice. You're making me look bad.
That's okay. But no. Can you tell me more about the mineral kits?
Sweet bear.
Thank you.
He's so cute. Pie. Elley, I think
she's frozen in the worst position.
She's
That's
Elley, you are currently frozen with your.
Oh, that's a bad frozen
face. That's not a good frozen face. We need to let Elley reconnect.
What do you think she's excited by? Was she excited to tell me about the rockets?
No, she was excited because you're being sweet.
Oh, okay. How long ago we lost her? Now I think about it.
I don't know. When that was he's sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it's really cool she has the rockets. I'd like to see her do the utility belt.
I think that was a great idea right now because that can be your sell too. Like, it doesn't have enough space for everything you need. It's not comfortable enough what they have out there. So I've designed one for you guys, especially say for you guys, that caters to your needs if this is what you want to do. You want to go rock hounding or
rock hounding.
Rock hounding. Okay. I know there's a specific title of what you did other than rock hounding.
Ugh.
And being a geologist.
That's
which, by the way, not a geometrist. Two very different things. I want to point that out.
I have jet lag, and he's calling it a geometrist. Did you get punched in the head today?
No, yesterday. But geology is not. I guess there's math involved in geology. I'm trying.
Anyway, so when we look at the parasocial relationships, it does cause, I think, a problem.
Yeah, of course it does. Like I said, it gives people an unfeathered, unsomething access to your life.
Pickle Bear wants to know if you'll be live tonight.
I'll probably be live on the car ride to Phoenix, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he'll be live. He'll be live in like 2 hours. And that makes sense. It does. It gives people unprecedented access to your life. It gives people unprecedented access to you. And I think that makes a difference. And I think it also depends on your fan base. Like, your fan base is male, they're martial artists, you make friends with your fans. And you call them your friends for that reason, because you have individuals that you either hang out with or you see when you go to town, or you genuinely make friends with and hang out with. I know Elley does the same.
I've also had a guy
I'm going to call
my information.
Alexis, would you please check on Elley?
Yeah, exactly. Pickle Bear, for like example himself.
Yeah.
But I've also had a guy find my information, send me.
Just so you'll remember, I'm Sniffy. We know you're Sniffy.
We know who you are.
We know who you are.
Find my information, tell me, send me a dick pic and tell me he's going to rape me. So it's definitely
that's every day for me.
But what I'm saying is that there's definitely the people who you can and should and want to associate with, who you find on the internet, and then there's people who you never know.
Yeah.
And that guy could have been literally anyone. I still don't know who he is. Still have no idea who he is at all. So he could be anyone. It could be Pickle Bear. It's not, but it could be.
So you guys know Ellie's phone overheated. She will be back on.
Yeah, she'll be back here momentarily.
I wonder, it's shocking. Her phone overheated at a ranch in Arizona, sitting in a car.
Yeah, I figured the car was just on.
Who would have known that could happen? even if it was on, she didn't have the aircon on, hence the sound was.
That makes sense. Yeah, you get little ice packs for your phone. That's what people need to develop next: is ice packs for phones. That'll be the next big hit.
Gay.
No, and be careful.
Why don't you develop that?
Because I don't know how to do that or who could do it.
Make a deal with a company that makes ice packs. Make phone slips.
All right, I'll figure it out. Let me research if there's even a thing on the market already.
Can you help him make ice packs for phones? He legit ties ice packs to his phones.
It's a good idea. I just don't know how to go about it in any way.
Okay.
That's how most of my ideas go, by the way.
So I know. So I got to tell you, the I'm so annoyed.
Which part?
Well, aside from the parasocial relationship, I'm so annoyed since being back in the US.
I can feel it.
Yeah. With the jet lag, it is killing me. I never get jet lag going to Australia. Like the day we arrived, I just was going. Lex was dying. I was just Energizer Bunny. On the way back, everyone's fine except me. They adjusted 2 seconds, the time difference. But then when they went there, they were all tired.
I want to say real quick, I thought you meant that you were tired of being here in the, like, upset with the States, not being upset with the jet lag. I genuinely have an issue being back here in the States because the respect level is so different.
We will definitely talk about that.
Yeah.
It's definitely different respect-wise. But Ellie, I'm shocked you overheated in a car in Arizona. I'm shocked.
My door was open.
That's great. That's the equivalent of I left a kid in the car, but I rolled the window down.
That's true. I'm outside by a tree, but I have the microphone hopefully kind of protected from the wind. Sorry, guys.
No,
you're quite all right.
I'm glad you're not overheating anymore.
Yeah.
Because for your phone to overheat meant that car was hot.
A little bit.
A little bit. Well, I like you conscious and alive, so.
Thank you. Yeah, you're going to need me tomorrow, too. I'm excited, though, for tomorrow. That's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. Now, we were talking about parasocial relationships.
Yes.
And your weird stalkers is, I think, where we left off.
Yeah,
not
pretty
your
much.
Good stalkers, your weird ones.
Weird and good ones. So, like, I've had real stalkers in real life before. Like, not just, like, social media stalkers, but people that have followed me home, people that have threatened my life, people that have threatened my family's lives. And it's very scary. I mean, I've gone... I don't know how much I should say or not say about any given thing, but it's a long time ago, but it was somebody who was a classmate of mine in college who had decided that I was their point of interest. And because that I denied them being interested in them, they decided that they were going to make it their life's mission to make my life hell. So even going to the dean of the college didn't matter. I had to go to the police department and say, these are the things, this is his information. I don't want to be a dumpster case because I know that stuff happens. And as soon as they realized like what was going on, and they actually had a phone conversation with this guy to see like his mental stability, they told me, they said, stay as far away from him as you can. They contacted the school. They said, do not have them together. Do not put this person around him. He's a dangerous individual. And I'm really glad it was like one of those times where the police actually did something. And
wow.
I didn't really feel safe.
They let it go.
What?
There are far too many where they let it go or think it's not a big deal.
Yep.
Or the one that drives me crazy is, I don't want to ruin his life. What about his future?
They said that.
And
there
then
was one of the professors that said that. I was so fucking angry. I went, I am half his size. He's literally been stalking me on the phone. I don't give a shit about his life at this point. Or you're going to ruin his academic career if you turn him in for harassment. I went, but
who gives a shit?
Like, oh my gosh, then don't do that. How about don't do it?
Pretty much, yeah. Just tell the dean, yeah, that's fucking great. That's what I came here to do.
Yeah.
This is exactly why I'm having this conversation.
I came to ruin people's lives. That's why I went to college. Oh my gosh.
Well, I meant more like I want him out of the college because of what he did. But I mean, that's an interesting career choice, going to college to ruin people's lives.
Right? I know.
Student loan debt does that enough on its own.
There's a great film. It's a promising young woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great film. If you guys get a chance to watch it.
A promising
young woman. I believe it's what it's called, and it's Mulligan, Carrie Mother. And essentially, the premise of the film is exactly that. How many cases have been put out because a promising young man, they don't want to ruin his future in rape cases and problems like that. And so that's a very, very common thing. I've heard it many times when I've had well-known actors, especially, harassing people on set, and young women, people will say, well, do you really want to ruin his career over this? Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's, and I don't know why they would ask you that. Like, why don't you have sympathy for the guy who's stalking you or attacked you? Why don't you feel empathy for this poor soul?
It's the value. It's the value. So it's less, well, it's a compliment. It's a viewpoint of she can't be terrified. It's complimentary.
I guess so. Yeah, I have no idea. It was bizarre because it was a man telling me that I shouldn't ruin another man's life.
But that's it. But that's because he empathizes with the man. And a lot of the times you'll find the people that say that have had the same behavior.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's
absolutely.
so bizarre. Like the men that I know that turn around and are like, no, fuck that noise. They have not had that same behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah. I relate it back to the whole pedophilia thing. If you're defending pedophiles, you probably are a pedophile.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh.
If you are defending a terrible culture or a terrible thing that happens, it's probably because you either wanted it to happen or you'd be willing to partake in it yourself. That's the bottom line. People don't defend horrific things because they are genuinely good people. They do it because they feel empathy, because they can see themselves in that position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sad, right? It's so pathetic.
I'm looking at my smile. I'm like, it's not going up on this side. I think I got too much Botox under here.
Did it freeze the side of your mouth? You have like a cat smile, the curved smile.
Well, usually it curls up, but I'm like, but it's just one side. I'm like, have I had a stroke?
I hope not.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't notice it before you said something.
Thanks.
Now everyone's focused.
Now I can't help but look.
It's fine.
It's perfectly fine. He's using the finger to hold it up.
No, it's actually, it comes from, it's the expression I always make. So I always turn down the left and turn up the right. So I'll go, it's from that expression. And I know that's the expression I make most of the time.
Well, that's okay. I think you're cute no matter what expression you're making.
Thanks, but because I can turn both of them up. So it's just that moment. Shout out, by the way, to Renaissance MD. They're the ones that fixed all the shit I had done bad in my face and did some dissolving and everything else. I got to come see them about this and be like, can you freeze this side?
Why don't you just unfreeze the frozen side?
Because it's not frozen. I just don't use that side.
Oh, all right.
I was just joking.
Okay. That works too. I appreciate that.
It's literally from the expression I consistently make. Because I always do that, but I turn down one side and turn up the other.
So I'm curious now. We go to Comic-Con and we talk about what to people who show up at our panel?
How to get famous, how to get your projects made, what goes on behind the scenes.
And why is it important for people to come and see that? Because they're there for comic books and stuff like that. Why would they care to come and listen to us?
Well, everyone has a good idea. And something I stress is this can be used in whatever business you're in. Somebody is going to make a fortune making the next big film. Somebody's going to make the next big comic book. And I got to tell you, the Hades and Persephone TV show that I'm doing now, I had people come up to me and start, like, really, her fan base was up my ass. Shout out to Rachel Alexander with the Scary fan base. That they chased me down at Comic-Con. That's how I got it. And then I contacted her. And these people, like, and when I said I hadn't read the book, they printed it off. They got online and printed it off and gave me a printed copy. Like, these people were psycho and invested.
Wow.
Yeah, but because of that and because of how invested her fan base is, she now has a TV show.
Sometimes it really pays off.
That's it. It wasn't her that approached us. It was me that approached her because her psycho ass fan base was like, you should make this into a TV show. You should make this into a movie. And something I've learned is if you can take the pulse of the world at Comic-Con, you know exactly what's popular online, exactly what's coming. And it helps. So it helps us know what's coming. And it helps people that want to be famous or want to build their brand. And you can look at any brand building is literally about effort and consistency, but you also have to have a product that people want.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, anyways, the reason I bring it up is just to promote the fact that we're going to be speaking at Comic-Con and we have wonderful information for anyone out there who wants a project that they want to put out and they need help doing it.
What's the best project that you found by going to Comic-Con?
Oh, definitely Receiver of Many. Hades and Persephone. Yeah. It's a phenomenal book series. I believe 9 books will be the total on it. It's phenomenal book series. It's I've had people approach me about a lot of things, but never with the dedication. Like her fan base, when we went back last year, we had people approach us because we had essentially, because of the pandemic and the strikes, we had to freeze. We were in development. We had to freeze. And so now that we're back to it, we should be in pre-production in January next year. We're back in development. We've had to, kind of reshuffle everything just because of the pandemic. But her fan base was like, when is this coming out? When is this coming out? When is this coming out? Like, her fans remind me of like Ellie's diehard fans or your diehard fans and friends. Like, I think when you find that people that you resonate with, it makes a difference. And that's the benefit of social media. We were talking about that earlier. If not for social media and if not for her fan base, I for sure would not have done that book. I never would have come across it.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely haven't read it.
Yeah.
No one
probably should.
But yeah, I would. I'm
they're
really
coming for you now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, right? They're gonna. I'll laugh if I get a comment after this. I'll let you guys know. But I really want to see.
It's really good, but yeah. So we're going to be at Phoenix Fan Fusion. It starts today. We will be out. We're actually going out this evening. We're going to be out in Phoenix. We'll have our panel tomorrow. We will, of course, have Elley Ringo, star of Elley Knows Rocks, on there. Snuggy Bear can come too, I guess.
I am the show. What do you mean I can come too?
At least he can throw the Twinkies straight, kind of. He gets them to the right person. Sort of.
Not just wider surface area. I want heavier objects too.
Oh my gosh!
You don't
get me up to Alexis, man. Alexis, get bigger cookies.
I want mistakes to be life. No, I'm kidding.
They need to be life-threatening. Guys, follow Elley. Come see us tomorrow. Elley, it's the end of the show. Is there anything you want to say to everyone real quick?
I hope to see a lot of people at Phoenix Fan Fusion. I'll be there. I'll be dressed as Furioso. Come find me. Say hi. I'll be with a group of my friends that'll be walking around too, so it'll be cool. It's awesome. Guys, go find me on YouTube at Elley Knows Rocks. And yeah.
We'll see you guys tomorrow at Phoenix Fan Fusion. We'll be streaming from the car in about 2 hours. I'm Summer Helene. This is my co-host, Bear Fiorda. And shout out to Elley Ringo of Elley Knows Rocks. Make sure you are following us at TuneIn BTS. This is Behind the Scenes. We'll see you next week. Good night.
This has been Behind the Scenes with Summer Helene and Bear Fiorda. Only on Talk 4 Media.